back. But as we get into the game, one big change here that FULLSENSE has brought out is PTC is really back on that Sky. He is now on Sky duty. No more of the breaches for the play-ins. And I'm loving it here for FULLSENSE that they understand that APAC is a completely different piece. If you're doing something in the world stage, it's a different playstyle. Here in APAC, brawls, especially in SCA. And against a team like Action PH, you need someone like PTC, the caliber of his, well, mechanical prowess, to be able to frag out for himself. But lo and behold, mid is the way. And FULLSENSE already checking out the corners here and looking to find a way towards perhaps that A site.
Already, Lammy Snacks and Co. John Olsen have already crept up onto ropes. They've given it up for free here. As we saw previously, mid control is something that FULLSENSE love. How will Action PH respond to this? Will they give it away every single round, like what Onyx did, or will they be able to fight tooth and nail for it? We'll find out here. But A side is the side of choosing for the side of FULLSENSE now, as the boom bots and the flashes and the utilities start pouring in to help clear out that back side. They're still holding firmly here. Sirodethio trying to work up around here, but he's not going to be able to get anything, and the defense just falls flat completely. It's a perfect entry onto the site, and they're already trying to cut off rotation.
Oh,
they find one, they find two, and M1 finds the response. Might be too little too late. It's 1 against 4, and the flash doesn't even go above.
Eman, you're supposed to guide that a little bit further.
A little bit higher there, buddy.
And you know, just let the bird fly. You know, bye-bye Butterfree, and oh no, he's stuck in the middle and he's dead. No, that's it. FULLSENSE.
This brought tears to my eyes the moment you said bye-bye Butterfree, and
okay.
thank you for that. Too. Yeah, okay.
That and the episode where it was the SS animate sank, but they traded before the sync. That was like, oh man, it was my one VHS of Pokemon back then. But back to Valorant real quick as we go down memory lane. Yeah, FULLSENSE, that's what they love to do. They get that mid control, they get the choices, and it's a very quick execute. Not only that, you don't want to play against FULLSENSE by the ropes. They are going to be prepared for the drop down. Yeah, we've seen the acrobatics last time, right? And, well, this time, here we have a bit more from APH or Dethio peeking. The guns are just not into parity. This should be more streamlined here for FULLSENSE. John Olsen leading the charge, Spectre in hand. And here comes FULLSENSE now, second, gets a third, and cleanly towards that B. They go even for the kill over at Vents. And to no surprise, well, it's FULLSENSE trying to go for the flawless of Batman all the way by spawn. Great shutdown there from a Batman. At least get something out of this round. Planted. But really, overall, Action PH needs to put a stopping force by those towers. And a Batman, you wouldn't. You wouldn't.
No, but that doesn't matter. And here's the thing. FULLSENSE, though, just goes to show you how confident they are up against Action PH. They didn't even buy rifles. They didn't even buy SMGs. They have 2 of their players on pistols. That's how confident they are in winning that anti-eco round. Which means that in the next round, no matter how many players they do lose, they should still have enough to maybe buy Vandals or even rebuy into a very solid bonus round. This could be not even a bonus round because they almost fully saved in the last one.
And they noticed that there was just no stopping force here from the side of Action PH. They're like, okay, we can actually just run on in such a dry fashion, and that's that. And this is where it boils down to perhaps these compositions right now for Action PH. They don't have the raise. And in terms of utilities, the only one with true stopping power here is Batman. The Paranoia can be a bother. The Flash is there as well. And of course, the Sage Slow Orbs, you can add that. But beyond the initial setup of the Killjoy, look at this mid site. It's so open for FULLSENSE to go for the overrun, and if they can keep winning out the duels anyway, then it's a perfect chance for them to get a third round. But APH now going back to a classic style, wall to get in the way just to slow down the FULLSENSE assault.
Absolutely. Now, I'm gonna try to knife that down here. I'm gonna bring that down, shape that into a nice sculpture towards mid.
They're doing it again. All the segments that they're gonna go through, they knife it just a little bit, so they disintegrate at the same time as they spray it. These guys are artistes with ice, apparently.
Renaissance, maybe we'll see the next Angelo from the life here, but with ice sculpture, he's able to get that opening pick onto Eman. This is the buy round for Action PH, let me remind you. And the Batman, the lone defender here. He has so much to deal with. He's able to get one, but oh no, they fall flat once more, and the defense crumbles here towards that A site. Smoke fades away just in time for PTC to get taken down. Sirodethio Will he be able to get it? The smoke has to be replaced. Nothing there. It's going to be RU who... Okay, it's all up to RU now as FULLSENSE are just reading this perfectly. RU actually sneaks onto the side, but they hear his footsteps. He gets out of dodge here. They plant for heaven, I think.
Oh no, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. FULLSENSE convincing. 3-0, winning out. I'd say an extra bonus based on how they've been playing their economy. Look at Chalalala, he is absolutely loaded with the money. And for FULLSENSE, it's just that one factor that they always stick around towards that A site. The Cypher alert, the waiting game from T, trying to size up the competition from either the main angle or from the ramps into the tower. And it's usually because FULLSENSE loves to control that mid towards that B site. They put their quantity there, but if they find an opening courtesy of the Cypher, if they get the call that okay, we can actually push towards this high ground towards A, well, it's just another standard FULLSENSE strategy that Action PH has not found the answer yet to.
And look at their defense. We said it time and time again, man. It's starting to look a little bit lopsided, a little bit flat. They give up mid. They don't. Now they're trying things a little bit different where they aggressively push towards A. But we know that FULLSENSE, they like to do mid control early first and then sort of decide. I think for Action PH are trying to play their own game a little bit too much and not sort of read it to what FULLSENSE are doing. Because that's what Onyx did fantastically here in Split, is respond to whatever FULLSENSE is doing now. And look,
Exactly.
how is he able to just get that? He just taps him out of nowhere. And RU is just out in the open.
Yeah, it's pretty basic to John Olsen by this point. But, yeah, it's the lack here. I can't completely fault Action PH and their positions right now, because this is what the composition only allows them to do. Compared to when you play that Breach Raise, it's very oppressive, right? But for FULLSENSE now, they can get up close and personal. Classic even out, and P is there to help. Lamy stacks in the pinch, 4-0. And that's really it. The lack of the right utilities right now versus FULLSENSE on the Action PH side. This is the composition that they've run over and over again. The only difference really is the Omen. You see that they just can't hold on to those towers. They cannot hold on to that mid. And for FULLSENSE, when they get this close, they just win those kind of flashes. There's a lack here for Action PH. And that lack is in the agent setup that they have right now.
Well, they are going to have to change something up, and one of those answers will be to put Georgie on that operator, try to contest that mid. But we know FULLSENSE, they don't just like to run the same thing over and over again. Now they're going to send us 3-2 split. 2 players towards that A side, a couple lurking here towards mid. They will be able to spot out one, and Georgie does dispatch of T. But that's traded out by John Olsen, who catches off Georgie completely. That's the operator removed right now. So finding another advantage is what FULLSENSE do up until Eman levels it out and gets down Lamy snacks. You know, they're trying to work their way towards A. Spike in their hands, in possession. And this is one of the more disciplined rounds from Action PH. Well timed, but John Olsen brings things back. They have a minute to play, and PTC up on site. He's managed to bring it to a 2v2. And it's these short skirmishes that are really giving FULLSENSE the advantage. And Eman are gonna have to try to work their way from heaven, but look at this quick wraparound. PTC already on the flank, sees one. Knows where the flash is, brings it out, flashes again, fully blind. Easy cleanup for PTC. And one of the best rounds for him, just to be able to flash himself. And we've talked about this, Dax, time and time again. When he's on that sky, he will flash you to pieces and take those kills for himself.
And he is just so potent at it. He knows the corner, so he doesn't get flashed himself. And this is when people in Apex say, you know, Split, why did he say it's defender-sided? It's attacker-sided. It's because of these kind of styles, these kind of compositions.
I think it's FULLSENSE-sided.
Yeah, it's FULLSENSE-sided right now from what they're running. But I will give it to Action PH. They have to make an adjustment in their setup right now, and it's either they put that killjoy to actually hold mid, which is very unorthodox, or that push. That push was actually very effective, gave them that chance. Lapse no judgment. They should expect that E ramps will always be contested there by FULLSENSE, and just because of that, that was the opening that FULLSENSE needed to get to that site. So for now, we are seeing the steps that Action PH is taking to answer back versus FULLSENSE. The composition-wise, really, the lack is a problem. And Georgie now, there we have the blades, can't catch out B. Spike, though, gonna be navigating, and no. Oh, Action PH, don't fall for this, because FULLSENSE are making a train towards B, and Here, this is the longest wraparound we're gonna see from them. Tido might get the catch onto Eman. Eman might get the catch onto PTC. Dominoes fall, and it's T who plays it from so far away. FULLSENSE now looking for that control. Georgito will make it 4v4.
Well, Chalala looking to push even more. Limey Snaps gets one. Chalala finds one more, and that's all he gets. As John Olsen will be taken down. Reds comes in. SHEDULES brings it down to 2v2. Suddenly possible for Action PH squad. This could be the round that they managed to take. Now PTC once more with the positioning, catches him off yet again. Flash to get information. Not going to be finding anyone. Knows it's fairly safe for now, but John Olsen will connect onto that shot. And it's just these, again, I go back to the calls here, Dax. A lot of presence was shown by Action PH towards B main. They go to A. Suddenly, FULLSENSE, they know that they're towards A. Initial presence towards B, then they go to A, then they go back to B, and Action PH, they just can't keep up.
And FULLSENSE is one of the masters of the rotations. These guys can be the marathon men in moving on around. And the thing is, they also anticipate these kind of pushes from Action PH. APH thought they could catch one out from the ramen side, and then Eman gets backstabbed there by T, and no one is there to keep an eye out for that angle, or Eman himself can't make it in time. It really is just FULLSENSE showing, again, their extra bit of pedigree, and that's the stark difference here. I feel like skill-wise, the talent-wise, the mechanics, these guys are in parity. But the experience of FULLSENSE, especially through 2021 versus a newer team as Action PH, you can see it in spades making a big difference. And P is there to catch out Georgie. Someone needs to be here for APH. And SerDeto and RU are trying to take that mantle. John Olsen, though, with the frag. RU again, finally getting on the board this round. Here comes Eman from up top. A backhand will be the one to secure that kill. And it's 2v1 now. Will they finally get the shutdown onto John Olsen here? Lockdown, though, will not get any detains. John Olsen, you're looking at the wrong way, and Eman is there down below to get the takedown. Finally, APH with the round, and in all honesty, it wasn't clean whatsoever. It was very scrappy. But right now, APH, they have to keep going for those kind of rounds because they can't play the defaults as much as they would like in the first place.
The defaults won't work for Action PH because FULLSENSE are just better at it. They're better at playing the intelligence, the slow play. They're better at playing the tactical game. And exactly, our dear observer, coffee might just be what Action PH needs a little bit more of, because they need to wake up right now. They need to get into gear. I'm just not seeing that. I'm seeing FULLSENSE just read them. And the one round that Action PH won was off the back of a full execute towards that A side, which was in some ways a Hail Mary play.
Oh, the wall! Oh, it slowed them down enough. Limey Snaps gonna get the right shot, and Eman is there for the takedown. APH, here we go. You know, rarely do we just say here on the broadcast side, the analyst side, you know, just shoot them better, just shoot them, just be willing to fight. But Action PH timed now to throw the playbook away, make those individual decisions, timed it perfectly, because it's the only way you're gonna stop FULLSENSE right now. And lo and behold, SerDeto, he had a suicide wish. He got the takedown, he got the wall, and it bought Action PH rather enough time to now set up the way they want to.
Yeah, I think you make a great point there, Dax. Getting a little bit more comfortable, playing a little bit looser might just be what Action PH needs, especially on the defensive side, but a lot of it is on reaction. Having said that, though, still a 1v3 to go. As T is able to get himself onto that B site, might be able to get a plant in, fakes it, and that's going to signal the rotation to come in. Nice headshot right there from T. He almost finds the adjustment onto Georgie, but Georgie's better this time. And Dax, going back to the point that you made a little earlier on, to play looser. If I were maybe in the, in a position of one of these players, if I were maybe on the coaching staff, there would be a lot of rounds where I would say, yeah, you can just play looser in a couple of these rounds for Action PH, just to get a little bit more comfortable, because they are feeling stiff, they are a little bit discombobulated, and I think a lot of that stems from them being fairly uncomfortable, not just with themselves, but also playing up against an opponent like FULLSENSE on Split.
And you have to factor again the FULLSENSE utilities. The Raze, the Astra, very oppressive. And some of the relatively safer angles that you back off from your initial positions that you usually see on Split, it will be flushed out by things like the Gravity Well, things like the paint shells. And it really becomes such a difficult scenario for APH to try and go for the brawl if it's not an actual 50-50. And instead, with the more aggressive angles, it's just who can actually click that mouse quicker, who can actually fire that shot. And Action PH now, they are throwing caution to the wind. And this operator this close Well, Georgie better line it up well by the door if he
I've
gets
got your
caught on that
trail.
PTC though with the Seekers.
Oh,
Oh, he's gonna get the peek. Oh, it's coming at him. He has to expose his position. And here comes FULLSENSE now, capitalizing and getting that A site.
Seekers came in clutch. It forces Georgie out. Could have gotten a pick, maybe even two, but instead they have the site for free.
Planted.
Retake will have to come in for Action PH. It's a little bit awkward, a little bit topsy-turvy here. Cosmic Divide will come in through. This actually might help FULLSENSE. Oh, it is theirs, pardon me. It will help them. T will be able to get that pick off onto Georgie. That's the operator remove. And John Olsen's is going to do John Olsen things and get another double. Eman in a 1v3. A little bit far removed from the spike. I don't think he's going to be able to come close. John Olsen finds a third. Should be able to pick up the operator as well. Okay, maybe.
It's okay, Ilu. You know, it's okay, Ilu. We've had months of Astra only everywhere. Expecting the Cosmic Divide to come from any side. But this is just so well played here by FULLSENSE. They use the wall.
Well, 7-2. That's a lot of presence that Action PH has to contend with. There's quite a disparity in terms of the score. It does reflect what we're seeing. And every single facet of the game is now being covered by FULLSENSE. We go to the we go to an Eagle once more. As the timeout does expire from the FULLSENSE side. We'll be playing fairly aggressive here towards that B main as Flammy Snacks does get closer. We'll creep up on through and try to make contact. A Batman will want to play that close angle again. Look at how many players are here holding that B-heaven area. They do have three fairly near each other. And this could be a good read from Action PH should FULLSENSE commit to this. But I imagine that FULLSENSE, they might just want to get a little bit more information. Once they see that the Killjoy's there, it might send them out. But no, instead, they just want to go straight into it. No hesitation whatsoever. They've already gotten onto site, and they're going to be trying to find their way into it even further as they push more and more onto it. John Olsen with another double. Chalalala was able to get another one too. And Fiorentino making that long, sad rotation all the way from A, wondering where everybody is.
You know, Boulevard of Broken Dreams as he goes back here at home. Maybe ice cream in hand after the convenience store. It's just one of those
that drops
days.
To the floor as well.
Yeah, it just melts in front of you, and there you go. All your groceries, the bread's there, the tomato rolls on away, and just sad days.
Someone knocks over your cabbages.
My cabbages.
It's just one of those days, man.
Oh man! And then you end up being the CEO of a cabbage corporation. Okay, okay. Well, okay, the thing is though, FULLSENSE, they were very confident, one, because of the gun disparity, but two, it's because of that boombot. As soon as they noticed that the boombot actually forced a player of Action PH to relocate because it was a shot down, they're like, okay, they're behind this big pillar, we can actually push on it, and it didn't matter if the Killjoy was there or not. I like the adjustment there from APH though. Maybe a Nanoswarmer to could help out versus that mid-control. They're really trying to scare off this A-side push from FULLSENSE. Doesn't really matter though for them, because here we go again, back to the usual FULLSENSE mid-vi.
Well, still, 5v5 is the mid-control once more coming in for FULLSENSE. They do love their mid-control before they decide to do anything. It has worked out a lot against other teams, only Onyx really finding a way against it. Maybe FULLSENSE should have taken a couple of plays from that Onyx playbook, how to deal with this mid-control from FULLSENSE side. As right now, they have taken everything. Look at this, basically given for free, top mid, even ropes. Now they're gathering for a B split here. Cutting off the rotation should be fairly a simple ordeal for the members of FULLSENSE.
The shadows though. Lisu. Check out what's going on. Guiding Light though is Call. And Ari now with Paranoia to defend the FULLSENSE. But the lineup is real! And TFBTC didn't notice they weren't in cover as of yet. But here comes John Olsen and Chalalala. We're back to the John Olsen experience. And he gets another one for his troubles. All left now to a Batman. I know it's now showing in cinemas, but he needs to be the hero here to break the boxes of FULLSENSE. It's a 1v3 though for a Batman, the newest player, and the APH roster is trying to check out what's gonna happen here. Sees Chalalala, looks for the shots. John Olsen still staying on the rafters. Finally, Batman with the takedown. In behind though, Lammy Snacks is coming, and the pinch again, courtesy of FULLSENSE. These guys own a Subway because they're making sandwiches out of Action PH, and it's 9-2 now for FULLSENSE.
Last round before the switch.
The hero that we deserve, but maybe not the one that Action PH needs right now. A Batman coming fairly close to making that clutch within the realm, manifest within the realm of possibility, but Just not coming to fruition this time. 9-2. And Action PH are on the defensive side. This could oh god, this couldn't really be going much worse, could it, for Action PH? Certainly, they're not known to be a great defensive side, but with only 2 rounds so far, they might not even have that margin of error should they switch onto the attacking side. And the attack on a map which is so defensive-sided like Split, just the chances of Action PH are dwindling away even further. They even find T through the smoke. It's just all crumbling apart, and they want to push the envelope even further. Eman does get a kill there towards mid against Lammy Snacks. Sirodetio does not get flashed out, but still PTC manages to find the kill. Georgie with a shotgun, the judge. He's going to be picking that kill up onto Chalalala, but the site is completely relinquished. A site open for the taking.
Yeah, you can feel that Action PH is shaken. Expect Sirodetio to get that decisive kill, but PTC given the time to go for the turnaround. And as Action PH did at least vibe for that mid via Bother, the wraparound is there again. What is up with FULLSENSE in circles? Because here comes PTC through the middle, looking for the pinch. It's just thrust though, that the FULLSENSE feels like they can still hold, even there's one trying to go for the rotate. But T now over by main, getting the distraction, and Aryu's the one to challenge him there. But the shots do come, and eventually T will find him. Georgie catches out PTC though on lurk. T again, the camera being the Bother, gives him the intel, and look how decisive it is for FULLSENSE. 2-10, and that is not the scoreline Action PH wants to see. Action PH, yes, though, is more of an attack-centric kind of roster, but the hopes, it's not as brilliant as you would expect. APH, they need some monster rounds and fast. Eman has at least stepped up a little bit more, but overall the team's still on the negative KD, and it's painful here for Action PH. One big hurrah though here, the pistol, at least parity's there.
Well, at least they can rely on the fact that they have that parity, like you mentioned. Pistols, up to level the playing field, but the numbers for FULLSENSE will be looking a little bit overwhelming as it's a 3-stack towards A. This is again something that Action PH love to rely on, is that the fact that they can get those entries onto site. But we still have to deal with the fact that John Olsen is just getting all of them with a 4K and mows down all the players stylishly with a ghost, leaving only a Batman lurking in mid. And sure, he gets a 1 kill, but at this point, does it even matter? Does it even mean anything? He's making noise on the ropes. They know exactly where he is. They know where the spike is, and John Olsen is just on another level today.
I mean, yeah, he is, but that really feels like Action PH isn't prepared. I love this. They're knifing him. They give the ace. They body block. They body block so John Olsen could get the ace. This is FULLSENSE now knowing that this series is there, and it will take an Herculean effort for Action PH to try and do it. But this is just such a crucial mistake. It's not even just John Olsen. I feel like anyone in FULLSENSE could have gotten this done, since no one was really looking at the A-site defender properly, and they went for it. They're like, we're gonna protect you, John Olsen. Get that kill, get the ace. Why don't you deserve it? But that's the problem here for Action PH. Amongst the rosters on PH side, this is one of the most volatile teams in all honesty. We follow their careers, we know it, especially being their local casters. But we also know when they take a loss and when they feel like they don't have that kind of confidence, it really hurts their playstyle, and there just needs to be more mental fortitude right now for Action PH in the long run. FULLSENSE though, can they wrap it up? Oh, the judge is ready. John Olsen with another kill. Third, fourth, another ace. Oh no, Snacks will kill him. Milu, just before we go to the next round, maybe one last hope as Action PH goes to try and stop FULLSENSE from winning this little thing. I rarely say this about this kind of game. It feels like more of a MOBA thing, but I think Action PH actually lost this game as soon as the draft happened.
And you make a fairly reasonable point, Daps. I have to agree, because they're not playing to the agents that they've selected. If you notice on the Action PH side, they like to play aggressive, but their team is so slow, so deliberate. I just don't feel like it's working out for them. Plus the Omen, I do think it's bitten them in the back more than it's helped them.
Get it. Action PH, they really don't have those tools to contest what the FULLSENSE style is. And again, maybe the Rays could be brought out to help. I would have loved, honestly, to see a sudden breach if they'd done that kind of homework. But yet again, it's just a
double initiator.
exactly. It's a little archaic against the FULLSENSE style right now. And right now, RU will at least fight one back, but PTC John Olsen with a cleanup crew. And this is a squad that represented SEA to the global stage. This is a squad hungry to make to the group stage. And they said the play-ins are no problem, as a 13-2 victory will lead FULLSENSE to next week.
That was one of the cleanest games I've ever seen FULLSENSE play. Actually, any team here in APAC. Just the amount of diligence and control and finesse that they brought to it. Action PH were just left stunned. But if we're gonna take any sort of saving grace here for Action PH,